We all know the trope that Cleopatra is closer to the moon landing than she is of the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Think about it. The pyramids were already ancient ruins when Cleopatra ruled Egypt. By the time she came to power, the Great Pyramids had already stood there for more than 2,500 years. And yet, Cleopatra's name shines brighter in history than almost anyone else from that long dynasty of pharaohs. She's not remembered for building monuments of stone, but for building a story, one that still seems to captivate us today. Sorry to interrupt your video, but this is what my subscriber count looks like. Let's do something about that. Hit the subscribe button. Cleopatra VII Philipperto, better known simply as Cleopatra, was the last active pharaoh of Egypt. She reigned from 51 BC up until 30 BC, during one of the most turbulent times in the ancient world. So what makes her so iconic? She was a ruler who could hold her own in a man's world. She spoke several languages, was a skilled diplomat, and undertook the cultural blend of her Greek heritage and her Egyptian throne. She strategically aligned herself with two of Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. And while these relationships are often reduced to romance in modern retellings, they were calculated moves of survival and power. But Cleopatra wasn't just a political intrigue. Her story is also tragedy. After her death at the hand of Octavian, later known as Augustus Caesar, Cleopatra took her own life, tragically said to be an asp bite, though some scholars believe it may have just been poison. Her death ended not only her life, but the entire line of Egyptian pharaohs, folding Egypt permanently into the Roman Empire. So, with a story this legendary, it's no wonder the question of her final resting place has become of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. So, for centuries, people have asked, where is Cleopatra buried? Ancient writers like Plutarch claim she and Mark Antony were buried together in a grand tomb prepared by Cleopatra herself, but the exact location has never been found. Most historians assume she was interred somewhere in Alexandria, which is her capital. But the city has suffered countless earthquakes, tsunamis, and even sank portions into the sea itself. If Cleopatra's tomb lies there, it may be lost forever beneath the waves. This is why archaeologists have searched for decades, chasing every lead, because to find Cleopatra's tomb would be to unlock a chapter of history that connects Egypt, Greek, and the Roman world into a single story. Now, here's where things get a little exciting. A new discovery has reignited hope in this search. Archaeologist Kathleen Martínez and famed oceanographer Bob Ballard, the same man who found the Titanic, have been investigating the temple of Taposiris Magna. And that's located somewhere on the west of Alexandria. Beneath the waves near this temple, they've uncovered what appears to be a sunken port. Now, we're talking massive stone buildings more than 20 feet tall, polished floors and carefully cemented blocks, stone columns, jars, and even ship anchors dating to Cleopatra's time. Most intriguingly, there's a tunnel running over 4,200 feet beneath the temple. Martínez believes that this could have been part of the hidden route. perhaps even used to move Cleopatra and Antony's remains to a secret burial chamber. Now, her theory here is bold, that Cleopatra and Antony were buried deliberately at Taposiris Magna, which is quite far from Alexandria. So it could be that their tomb wouldn't be desecrated by the Romans. And if she's right, then this submerged port might be the missing link in one of the great treasure hunts in history. So why are people so obsessed and fascinated with Cleopatra's tomb? Well, it's because tombs aren't just graves. In Egypt, these are portals, sacred spaces meant to guarantee eternity. If Cleopatra really chose Taposiris Magna, it would reveal how she saw herself, not only as a queen of Egypt, but as a divine figure who wanted her death to echo in religious and cultural memory. It would also mean that we could one day walk into her world to see the art, to see the offerings, and perhaps even her mummified remains. So here's a question for you that I'd like you to answer in the comment sections. Do you think that this new underwater discovery will lead us to Cleopatra's lost tomb? Or are we destined to keep chasing shadows, always wondering where the last pharaoh of Egypt is? And just before you go, I thought, history is full of mystery, but so is imagination. So what I'd like to do is step outside of the realms of reality sometimes and explore the realms, the religions, the fanaticisms, and even the cults, not just in history, but in fantasy and myth as well. So let me know, because what I'd like to do is do like a little segment where I cover the gods, religious orders, religious worship practices within some of the great literary works of the fantasy world. And this might even include things like popular video games and some even tabletop games. I'm thinking like Warhammer and stuff like that. But it wouldn't be a mainstay, it'd just be like a side project, just another segment for the show. So if you would like to know more, or if you've got any suggestions, or if there's anything that you'd like to add to this, then let me know in the comments, because that journey could take us somewhere truly heretical. Now, until next time, take care, and thanks for watching. Oh, and subscribe. Subscribe.